All right, everyone get ready because today we are going deep on a book that's like, a guide to living with less drama and like way more happiness.
That sounds pretty good to me.
We're going to be talking about The Four Agreements
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
by Don Miguel Ruiz.
Classic.
Are you ready to unlock some serious life upgrade potential?
Always.
So we've got excerpts from the book itself, right?
Yep.
And we're going to be focusing on those four powerful agreements and like all that Tech wisdom behind them.
That's right.
So think of this deep dive as your decoder ring for turning ancient wisdom into, I don't know, modern day magic.
Exactly.
And the foundation for all of this, like where we got to start,
Yeah.
is understanding this thing Ruiz calls domestication.
Right.
It's like this idea that, ever since we're kids, we're basically taught how to think, behave, even feel based on all these rules and beliefs of, I guess, society.
That's right.
So it's like we're all downloaded with this operating system,
Yeah.
but nobody gave us the user manual.
And a lot of times,
And sometimes that system, it gets a little glitchy,
it does.
right? Like how many times have you felt pressured to be someone you're not, just to fit in
All the time.
all the time?
Yeah.
It's tough out there.
We end up living in what Ruiz calls the dream of the planet,
Okay.
which is this collective illusion we all participate in.
Wow.
Well, and sometimes, let's be honest,
Let's be real.
that dream feels more like a reality TV show.
Oh my gosh.
Gone very wrong.
Too real.
Yes.
So how do we break free from this domestication
Well, that's a good question.
and start living a dream that's actually, enjoyable?
That's the question we're all asking.
Enter the four agreements,
Oh,
like a software update for your mind.
exactly.
Okay.
Each agreement
Yeah.
is a tool for dismantling those old limiting beliefs
Okay.
and creating space for a more authentic, fulfilling life.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Agreement number one.
All right, number one.
Hit me with it.
Agreement number one is be impeccable with your word.
Okay. This is about understanding the sheer power of the words we speak.
I like that.
They can build bridges or burn them,
Oh,
create beauty or wreak havoc.
okay. That makes sense.
Words have vibes.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
But how do we actually become impeccable with them?
Right.
Does that mean you can never complain about traffic again?
Ugh, is that what it means?
No, no, no.
Okay.
It's not about never venting or having a bad day.
Okay.
It's about becoming conscious of the energy
Okay.
we're putting out into the world
Yeah.
with our words.
I see that.
Like, think about gossip.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically like throwing little poison darts
Right.
at people's reputations.
Yikes. Yeah. And those darts can come back to hit you, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing is, this agreement applies to our self-talk just as much
Oh.
as it does to what we say to others.
Right.
That inner critic.
Yeah.
You know the one?
Oh, I know that word.
The voice that loves to tell you, you're not good enough?
That's you being impeccable with your word,
Okay.
but in a very
In a bad way.
negative way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof, that's deep.
Right.
So it's not just about, like, being nice to others.
No,
It's about being kind to ourselves, too.
absolutely.
Okay.
It's about recognizing the power of our words
Mm-hmm.
to shape our reality,
Right.
both internally and
Yeah.
externally.
Okay. I'm starting to see how this agreement could be, like, seriously life-changing.
Totally.
Okay, so no more trash-talking myself
Oh, yeah.
or anyone else.
Yeah.
Got it.
Got it.
What's next on this wisdom journey?
All right. Agreement number 2.
Okay.
It's all about letting go of that emotional baggage
So-
we tend to pick up along the way.
Oh, this one's going to be tough.
It's called don't take anything personally.
I mean, how can you not take it personally when someone's, like, blatantly rude to you?
Right. Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
When we take things personally, we're essentially giving someone else
Mm-hmm.
the power to control our emotions. And nobody wants to be that puppet, right?
So true.
Mhm.
But how do you develop that kind of, like, emotional resilience?
It's a question.
Like, some people just know how to push my buttons.
Ruiz says that everyone is living in their own personal dream,
Okay.
and those dreams are often shaped by past experiences, beliefs, and insecurities.
Oh.
So when someone reacts in a way that hurts us,
Yeah.
it's often more about them and their own internal struggles
Okay.
than it is about us.
So it's like their bad behavior is a reflection of their inner world,
That's a good way to put it.
not mine.
Yeah,
I can choose not to let it, like, define me
right.
or ruin my day.
Exactly. It's not about condoning bad behavior. It's
Yeah.
about choosing not to absorb it. Think of
Huh.
it like Teflon.
Okay.
Let those negative vibes just slide right
Oh,
off.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm already feeling, like, a little more zen.
Oh, good.
Okay, so we've got be impeccable with your word.
Yeah.
Don't take anything personally. What's the next step in our, like, personal growth boot camp?
All right, agreement number 3 takes on a habit that can cause a lot of unnecessary drama and heartache.
Oh, boy.
It's called don't make assumptions.
I think we've all been there, assuming we know what someone's thinking or what they meant by, like, that text message.
And then we build a whole story in our heads, right?
Yes. Like, that time I thought my friend was ignoring me, but it turned out her phone had died.
Oh, no.
I spent a whole day stressing over nothing.
Assumptions are the breeding ground
Yeah.
for misunderstandings and conflict.
It's true.
They can sabotage relationships, ruin opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
Just generally add stress to our lives.
So how do we, like, break this assumption habit?
Yeah.
Is it, like, constantly asking for clarification?
You know
All the
what?
time.
It's about cultivating curiosity.
Okay.
Instead of jumping to conclusions,
Okay.
instead of assuming you know what someone means, ask.
Yeah, just ask.
It sounds so simple, but it can be incredibly powerful.
Okay, so it's like, when in doubt, ask it out.
That's right.
Instead of letting, like, those assumptions fester and turn into resentment, just have a conversation.
That's right.
Uh,
Clear communication is like a superpower.
yeah, it really is.
It can prevent so much unnecessary drama and heartache.
3 agreements down.
All right.
1 to go.
Yeah.
What's the final piece of the puzzle?
The 4th agreement is like the foundation
Okay.
upon which all the others rest.
All right.
It's about showing up fully
Okay.
with integrity and intention in every area of your life.
Okay.
It's called always do your best.
Okay, that one sounds, like, pretty straightforward. It does. But isn't everyone already trying their best?
Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
Your best isn't a fixed point.
What?
It will fluctuate depending on your energy levels, your circumstances, even your mood.
I guess that makes sense.
Some days your best might be running a marathon,
Right.
and other days it might be simply getting out of bed.
That's very true. So it's not about, like, striving for some unattainable standard of perfection.
No.
But about, like, showing up authentically and doing what you can
Yes.
with what you've got in that moment.
Exactly. It's
Okay.
about effort
Mm-hmm.
over outcome.
Okay?
And here's the beautiful thing about this agreement.
Yeah.
When you're consistently striving to do your best, you build self-trust
Okay.
and confidence.
Like it.
You prove to yourself that you're capable, resilient, and worthy of your own respect.
Ooh, I love that. So it's not about, like, beating yourself up for not being perfect.
No.
It's about celebrating the effort and acknowledging your own growth along the way.
That's right.
All right.
Exactly.
I like it.
It's about embracing the journey,
Oh,
not just fixating on the destination.
I love it.
Yeah. Welcome back to our deep dive into the 4 agreements.
Okay, so I'm ready to, like, really put these agreements into practice.
Right.
Give you the real world, like, playbook.
Okay, so let's start with agreement number 1.
Okay.
Be impeccable with your word.
Yeah. We often think about this in terms of, like, being mindful of what we say to others.
Right.
But remember,
Yeah.
it's just as important to be mindful of our self-talk.
Oh, that inner critic can be so brutal. Sometimes it feels like I have like a stand-up comedian in my head, but they're only roasting me.
Exactly. But instead of letting that negative voice run the show,
Right.
we can consciously choose to, like, reframe our thoughts.
Okay, so how do you do that?
For example,
Yeah.
instead of saying, I'm so bad at this,
Yeah.
you could say, I'm still learning and I'm proud of myself for trying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like giving yourself a pep talk
Totally.
instead of a put down.
Right. And that shift in mindset
Yeah.
can have a huge impact on your confidence and motivation.
Okay, I'm feeling empowered already.
Good.
So how about agreement number 2?
Okay.
Don't take anything
Oh.
personally.
Yeah.
This one feels especially relevant in the age of social media, where it's so easy to, like, get caught up in comparison and negativity.
Yeah. It's a tough world out there.
Think of it this way. When you scroll through social media, you're essentially peeking into everyone else's highlight reel.
Oh,
It's not a true reflection of reality.
that's true.
And yet it's so easy to start comparing ourselves and feeling inadequate.
Ugh, so true. It's like everyone else is on, like, a permanent vacation and I'm just trying to, survive Monday morning.
Right.
But if we're not supposed to take anything personally,
Mm.
how do we deal with those, like, negative comments or that feeling of being judged?
Well, remember what we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
Everyone is living in their own dream,
Mm,
shaped by their own unique experiences and perspectives.
right.
So when someone says something hurtful, it's often more about them and their own internal struggles
Right.
than it is about you.
Okay, so it's like Their negativity is their baggage,
That's a good way to put it.
not mine.
Yeah.
I don't have to pick it up and carry it around with me.
You got it.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this applies offline as well. Let's say you're at work
Yeah.
and a colleague makes a snarky comment.
Ugh. Hate when that happens.
Instead of taking it personally and letting it ruin your day,
Right.
you can choose to see it as a reflection of their own, like, bad mood or insecurities.
Okay, so that's a much healthier way to look at it.
Right.
It's like their negativity is their problem,
Yeah,
not mine.
exactly.
I can just like stay in my own positive bubble.
And here's a trick.
Oh, a trick?
Okay. When someone says something hurtful,
Yeah,
imagine them wearing a big sign that says, "I'm having a bad day."
I like that.
It might sound silly,
Yeah.
but it can help you detach from their negativity and respond with more compassion.
I love that. It's like a little mental shield
Yeah.
against those energy vampires.
That's a good way to think about it.
Okay, so we've got be impeccable with your word
Yes.
for mastering like our self-talk and communication,
Right?
and then don't take anything personally
Yeah.
for building emotional resilience.
Exactly.
What's next?
All right. Agreement number 3.
Okay.
Don't make assumptions.
Oh, boy.
This one is all about becoming a communication ninja.
Oh, I need this. I feel like so many arguments and misunderstandings could be avoided if we just communicated, like, more clearly.
Think about it. How often do we assume we know what someone is thinking or feeling
Yeah.
without actually checking in with them?
All the time, especially in, like, relationships. It's like
Yeah.
we expect our partners to be mind readers, and then we get upset when they don't meet our, like, unspoken expectations.
Exactly. Instead of making assumptions, try this.
Okay.
Ask questions, clarify, and communicate your needs directly.
Okay, so instead of saying, like, you never listen to me,
Right.
I could say, hey, I feel like I haven't been heard lately. Can we talk about this?
Exactly.
That's why.
It's about replacing blame with curiosity and creating space for open, honest dialogue.
Okay, I can see how that would prevent a lot of, like, unnecessary drama.
Right.
And you know what? It's not just about, like, romantic relationships.
No.
It's about all relationships.
Yeah,
With friends, family, colleagues.
that's right.
Clear communication is key.
It's like having a superpower that can transform your relationships and your overall well-being.
I like it.
Yeah.
And speaking of well-being, that brings us to the 4th agreement.
All right, number 4.
Always do your best.
That's it.
Okay, remind me why this one is so important.
Okay.
Isn't everyone already, like, trying their best?
Well, remember, your best is not a fixed point.
Right, right.
It will fluctuate
Yeah,
depending on your energy levels, your circumstances, and a million other factors.
that's true. So some days doing your best might mean, like, conquering a big project at work.
Right.
And other days it might mean just getting out of bed
Exactly.
and, like, making myself a decent breakfast.
That's a good one.
Right.
It's about showing up fully
Yeah.
with intention and integrity,
Mm.
whatever that looks
Okay.
like for you in that particular moment.
So it's about effort over outcome.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not beating yourself up for not being, perfect.
Right.
But acknowledging your own growth and progress along the way.
Exactly. It's like being your own cheerleader instead of your own worst critic.
Yeah, I like that.
And here's the thing about this agreement.
What's that?
When you're consistently striving to do your best,
Yeah.
you build self-trust.
Okay.
You prove to yourself that you're capable,
Mm-hmm.
resilient,
Yeah.
and worthy of your own respect.
Ooh, I love that. So it's not about being, perfect.
No.
It's about being present,
Yeah.
doing what you can
Yes.
with what you've got,
Yeah.
and celebrating those, like, small wins
Totally.
along the way.
That's it.
This agreement feels really empowering,
It is.
like a permission slip to be human
I agree.
and to embrace the journey.
And that, my friend, is the essence of the 4 agreements.
I like it.
It's about creating a life that's less about striving for perfection and more about embracing authenticity, connection, and joy.
Okay, I am so on board with this philosophy. But you know what? I'm kind of curious to explore how these agreements can help us cultivate more self-love.
Oh, that's a great point.
Because let's be real,
Yeah.
sometimes that inner critic is the hardest one to silence.
That's a great point, and that's exactly what we'll be diving into in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay.
Stay tuned, because things are about to get really personal.
Okay, so welcome back, deep divers, to the final part of our journey into the 4 agreements.
Oh, it's gone by so fast.
And you know what we're exploring now?
What's that?
It's all about how these agreements can help us cultivate that, like, ever-elusive superpower,
Okay.
self-love.
Self-love, that's a good one.
It's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
So it's fascinating how these, like, seemingly simple agreements
Yeah.
can have such a profound impact
Totally.
on our relationship with, like, ourselves.
Well, it's like they give us this, like, new lens through
Yeah.
which to view, our own worthiness and potential.
Okay, so let's start with agreement number 1.
Okay, number one.
Be impeccable with your word.
Right.
We talked about how this applies to, like, our inner dialogue.
Yeah,
But how do we actually start speaking to ourselves with more kindness and compassion?
that's a good question.
Because let's be real,
Yeah.
sometimes that inner critic is a real bully.
Think of it like this. If you had a friend who constantly put you down,
Oh, I wouldn't want to be friends with them.
would you keep them around?
Probably not.
Probably not. So why do we allow that inner critic to have so much power over our thoughts and feelings?
Ouch. Yeah, it's like we've given that negative voice this, like, VIP pass to our mental space,
Yep.
and it's just trashing the place.
Exactly. But we have the power to evict that toxic tenant.
Okay, good.
We can start by simply noticing those negative thoughts,
Yeah.
without judgment,
hmm
and then consciously choosing to, like, replace them with more positive and affirming ones.
Okay, so it's like instead of saying, I'm such a loser,
Right.
I could say, I'm learning and growing, and I'm proud of myself for trying.
Exactly.
Okay, it sounds so simple, but I can see how that shift in perspective can make a huge difference.
Totally. It's about recognizing that you're not your thoughts.
Mm.
You have the power to choose which thoughts you want to entertain and which ones you want to let go of.
Okay, I'm feeling a little more zen already.
Good.
So how does the second agreement, don't take anything personally,
Oh, that's a good one.
fit into this, like, self-love equation?
When we stop taking things personally, we essentially release ourselves from the need for external validation.
Oh.
We realize that our worthiness isn't dependent on other people's opinions or judgments.
That's so freeing. It's like, you do you, I'll do me.
That's right.
We can each have our own, like, opinions and experiences without making it a personal attack.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that everyone is on their own journey and their reactions and opinions are often more about them than they are about you.
That makes a lot of sense.
Right.
But how do we actually, like, put this into practice?
It's a good question.
Because it's one thing to, like, understand it intellectually,
Right.
but it's another thing to actually feel it in those moments when we're feeling, like, hurt or rejected.
Think about a time when someone said something hurtful to you.
Okay.
Maybe they criticized your work
Yeah.
or made a comment about your appearance.
Yeah. We've all been there.
Instead of taking it personally and letting it ruin your day,
Mm-hmm.
try this. Imagine that person is carrying around a heavy suitcase
Oh, I like this visual.
full of their own insecurities and past traumas.
Okay, so their negativity is like their baggage, and I don't have to, like, pick it up and carry it around with me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can acknowledge their words or actions without internalizing them as, like, a reflection of your own worth.
Right.
It's about separating yourself from their stuff
Okay.
and staying centered in your own truth.
Okay. I'm feeling lighter already. So we've talked about mastering our self-talk,
Right.
building emotional resilience.
Yeah.
What about agreement number 3?
All right, number 3.
Don't make assumptions.
That's it.
How does this one tie into self-love?
Well, assumptions can be really sneaky, especially when it comes to how we view ourselves.
Oh.
We often make, like, negative assumptions about ourselves without even realizing it.
That's true.
We might assume we're not good enough, not smart enough, not worthy of love, all based on past experiences or limiting beliefs.
Oh, yeah. Those limiting beliefs can be like a mental prison,
Totally.
like trapping us in this, like, cycle of self-doubt and negativity.
So instead of blindly accepting those assumptions,
Yeah.
we need to cultivate curiosity and start questioning them.
Okay.
Ask yourself, is this really true?
Right.
What evidence do I have to support this belief?
So it's like being a detective,
Yeah.
examining the evidence and challenging those, like, negative thought patterns.
Exactly. And sometimes when we really examine those assumptions,
Yeah.
we realize they're based on, like, outdated information or other people's opinions, not our own truth.
And that's where the self-love comes in.
Yeah.
Right? It's about recognizing our own worthiness,
Right.
regardless of what, like, others may think or say.
Exactly.
Right.
It's about choosing to believe in yourself, to trust your own intuition,
Yeah.
and to honor your own, like, unique gifts and talents.
All right. One last piece of the puzzle.
Okay, let's do it.
Always do your best.
Agreement number 4.
We've talked about how this agreement is about, like, effort over outcome.
Yeah.
But how does it connect to self-love?
Well, this agreement is all about honoring ourselves by showing up fully, even when it's hard, even when we're tired, even when we don't feel like it.
Right.
It's about recognizing that our worthiness isn't dependent on our performance,
Okay.
but on our willingness to, like, try, to learn, and to grow.
I love it. It's like giving yourself permission to be human,
Yeah.
to have off days,
Yeah.
to make mistakes,
Everyone makes mistakes.
and to still be worthy of love and respect.
Exactly. And by consistently striving to do our best,
Mm-hmm.
we build self-trust and confidence. We prove to ourselves that we're capable, resilient, and worthy of our own love and respect.
And when we love and respect ourselves,
Yeah.
it radiates outward and affects, like, everything else in our lives.
Mm,
Our relationships, our work, our creative endeavors.
I agree.
It's like self-love is the foundation
Yeah.
upon which everything else is built.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Okay.
And it's a journey, not a destination.
Mhm.
There will be ups and downs, challenges, and triumphs.
Right.
But by embracing the 4 agreements,
Yeah.
we can navigate those twists and turns with more grace, compassion, and ultimately more joy.
All right, deep divers, I think it's time to, like, resurface from this wisdom-filled adventure.
What's in fun?
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling inspired and ready to, put these agreements into practice in my own life.
It's not about perfection, it's about progress.
Yeah.
Take what resonates with you.
Right.
Experiment and see how these agreements can transform your relationship with yourself and with the world around you.
And hey, if you fall off the wagon, don't beat yourself up. Just dust yourself off, recommit to the agreements, and keep moving forward.
That's right.
After all, always doing your best is all about showing up for yourself with love and compassion every step of the way.
I like that.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, folks. We'll catch you next time for another adventure in, knowledge and exploration.